I love you. Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes for another exciting episode of the James Bond playlist. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I'm the Faceless Leone. Welcome to Green and Faceless on the Couch. This is my radio
We're so
voice.
professional sounding today.
This is a podcast about movies and
Can you
TV.
say the Braves won the pennant?
The Braves won the pennant!
Yeah! Whoa!
Somebody just unsubscribed.
Yeah, Phillies fan out there. Or a Mets fan somewhere in New York. Just like, fuck them. I knew that.
I knew
it. Braves fucking suck.
Well, we're not here to talk baseball. Man. In fact, far from it. We're here to talk about James Bond.
Hey, if you want a baseball podcast, go on down to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Subscribe to one of our tiers, help us out financially, and eventually, if we're able to quit our jobs and do this full time, I'll get you a baseball podcast. It won't be specifically about the Braves, I promise. Unless that's what you want. If that's what you want, it can be.
Yeah, if that's what you want,
that's what we're willing to do.
Pledge enough.
Yeah. We're burning with content ideas, man. We got so many ideas.
So many ideas. Really,
not enough time.
We want to make some more films. We have one in the can, almost done, Zoe. And we'll talk about that some more, I'm sure. A short film, we should say. I don't want to get your hype up too much.
It'll be fun to critique it someday, too.
And we will critique it one day. Yes, I have critiques. Definitely.
Yeah, we can definitely do like a commentary for it someday. That'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
we just rag the fuck out of it.
Honestly, that would be a pretty good episode. I think somebody would like it out there, and it would get our video, our movie, more views. So I like
exactly.
it.
And when we put it on DVD, it'll be a special feature.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So, we're talking about, for your eyes only, possibly the most forgettable Bond movie. No. I did enjoy it when I watched it, and when I looked up the cast of characters, I remembered everything. But, man, it was not that long ago, and I just did not remember when we sat down to talk about it.
It's because Bond got goofy again. It had a brief moment. Like they when Roger Moore came in, they took those two movies to be like, all right, we're not doing crazy end of the world. We're doing small niche movies. They were boring. I don't remember them that much. But then they were like, all right, now we're going to get goofy and crazy. We're going to go sci-fi with it. They're going into fucking space. Yeah. And it's just like, that's when it got interesting again because it got silly. And I was like, all right, I'm digging this. Let's see where Bond goes. And in this one, they're just like, all right, now we're returning it to form again. Just crazy spy shit, end of the world maniacal villain. Let's do it. And I'm just like, oh. My brain just short-circuited, and I don't remember a damn thing.
Yeah, I still, honestly, even with looking through all the cast and stuff, still don't remember what the guy wanted to do exactly, besides that he was a bad man.
It's almost the exact same as the last few movies, where...
but I don't think he wanted to end the world, though, did he?
It's not that similar. It's similar in the fact that the British government had a secret operative machine that went down. Like it was behind enemy lines kind of thing, it crashed or something.
Albania.
So the KGB wanted it because if they could have it, then they could use England's own missiles against its allies. Yes. Against England's allies. So it's another one of those where it's like, we've kidnapped something of yours and now we're going to shoot missiles at the world. And it's just like, they did that with the submarines, I think. You remember that when they had submarines that were shooting missiles at the whole world. Like, it's just another one of those weird stories.
I did want to say that we have not mentioned General Gogol yet, played by Walter Gotell. He has played this character in like the last 3 or maybe 4 movies. He's like the leader of the KGB, but he's only there in small doses. And he's usually got a pretty lady with him. Usually. Yeah. He was in the Triple X movie.
That's right.
When I say it that way, it sounds like the porn parody.
The movie with Agent XXX.
Yes. Damn, what was that movie? That's not Diamonds
was
Are
it Moonraker?
Forever. No.
Oh,
it
maybe.
might be Diamonds Are Forever. No, it was The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
It's all blended
It's hard
together,
to remember them.
folks.
Exactly. Like when we get to the end of this run of the playlist, like when we take the break from Bond again and we have to like look back and determine our favorite and least favorite, it's gonna be such a fucking minefield because none of the titles mean a thing to me. Except for Moonraker. I remember Moonraker because it's literally the MacGuffin of the movie.
Yeah. So,
but like For Your Eyes Only, I can't remember it. Like, what the fuck is the point of that? Of For Your Eyes Only in regards to the story?
I have the title has no bearing. This is the one that has the least bearing on the movie. I feel like so far. You know, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. I only remember which one that one is because it's the only Lazenby movie. However...
Yeah, that's fair.
However, that still, you know, is so open-ended. Like, yes, he's a secret agent, man. We get it.
Right. Speaking of Her Majesty, this is the first episode recorded after the Queen's passing.
That is true.
So that is a crazy historical moment. So...
long live the king.
This one's for England, I guess. Yeah.
Sorry if that was insincere. I didn't mean to be, but...
Well, I think that's what they do, right?
They say long live the king.
Sorry, England. Yeah, we don't know your traditions all that well. And
I just kind of did it.
Some of you are grieving, some of you are not.
I just kind of threw it out, threw it away. So I kind of feel like that was insincere of me. And I mean, I'm not a subject.
I mean, honestly... Yeah, I feel like America's treatment towards the royalty is like very oddly skewed nowadays. You know, because of a lot of the current reveals about Prince Andrew and the cover-ups and everything that's been going on. Harry and Meghan, what's his wife's name?
I think that's
Harry
right.
and
they left
Meghan,
or whatever.
Yeah, they left the family, and it's just like there's a lot of crazy drama. It's a weird historical period that we're living through.
Yeah. I mean, even though they're just they don't really have much bearing on what actually happens in the government anymore. But it's like they're our favorite reality family. That's what it is.
They're the Kardashians for England.
Yeah, I mean, they just have been for a really long time. Anyhow, sorry, this isn't a podcast about the English royalty. If you want that, you can go get the tabloids. They're in them all the time.
If you want that, you can go to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Tell us you want that. No, I only get there because we're talking Bond. He's England. Yeah. And as I said, their attack, it's called attack. I can't remember what it stands for, but it has attack in it. Like it's an anagram, ATAC. It's called attack.
I think they called it.
Oh, ATOC. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it was pissing me off because it's like, I reading it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's called attack, and one of the A's literally stands for attack, and I'm just like, damn it. Like, it pisses me off. It's like if my name was, it's like, Greg stands for giving regularly, encourages Greg. Just like, it makes no sense.
I can't do that with Blake because there's only one B. It would be fair. Like Blake like a cake with a K. Excitement.
Blake likes a kangaroo erection.
No, I don't. Don't spread those lies.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a kangaroo with an erection. Like, is it in the sack? Is it hidden? Where's it at?
That's a good question. Maybe it is in the pouch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll Google that later on an incognito tab.
Do only the womb bearers have the pouch, or do the men as well? I don't. I say men.
I've never thought of it. Yeah. This one doesn't take place in Australia. Maybe it does. Maybe there's little bits of For Your Eyes Only that are in Australia.
I don't know. I think it's mostly
These
in
movies
Greece.
hop around everywhere. So
this one's mostly in Greece, but there's somewhere else they go, but I don't remember. It's mostly in the Mediterranean.
But yeah, the attack, it's on a boat, the St. George's, and the St. George's gets sunk, and they send Bond to go get it because the KGB is also going to get it because the KGB wants that technology. They want the automatic targeting attack communicator. Attack.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's basically like it can control all the missiles and all the other defense systems and stuff. It's basically like the football times a million.
That's right. There you go. That's a good way to put it. And there's another person also. So originally, the British, if I'm reading this correctly, asked a marine archaeologist to go get it or whatever to secretly locate where the St. George's was.
Right.
And that guy's name was Timothy Havelock.
That's
right.
And
En route, he and his wife are killed by, I'm reading here, a Cuban hitman named Hector Gonzalez, played by...
Stefan Khalifa.
Thank you.
Stefan, probably.
Thank you. Yeah, and he kills Mr. and Mrs. Havelock.
Real hard.
The daughter Melina witnessed it all. Melina's played by Carol Bouquet. And she vows revenge in a great shot where it's just like her wild eyes staring out at the plane as it flies away.
And just so you guys get the picture, she is a total rip off of the Huntress. Or the Huntress was based off of her, I guess, maybe. I feel like the Huntress has been around since like the 60s. I could be wrong.
We can find out right now. You're talking DC's Huntress, right?
Yes.
We got this technology. First appearance, Sensation Comics, number 68, August 1947.
Holy bejesus. So,
Jesus.
Like, the only thing she was missing was the purple leotard and mask, right?
They probably had that in
they probably did.
Like in their initial
she definitely had a leather suit on at one point, and she also had scuba gear on, which that doesn't necessarily count, but she has that on several times.
She did have it on.
There's a lot of this movie that's underwater,
so
and I think that part is honestly kind of fun. The underwater parts.
Yeah. It honestly doesn't look as good as underwater scenes have looked previously in Bond. I think those looked a little better. I don't know. It's not really memorable. I don't remember. I know that they're retrieving the attack, but that's all I really remember that goes on down there.
Okay, so Melina's father was studying these Greek ruins that were under the sea. In fact, when they're in the two-man submarine, James bumps into one of the columns. And she's like, oh, James, be careful. It's over 5,000 years old. And that just cracked me up. I don't know why.
See, all I can think of whenever I think of any kind of Bond scene is just them getting attacked by a shark because we just watched Jaws and Jaws to Revenge. So that's all I can think of.
Like, there was a submarine. We never talked about the submarines in that episode, but...
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you talked about the submarine, I was like, oh, right. And then the shark came up and just, like, ate all of the whole submarine, right? And Bond and her, nope, that's not what happened.
I do believe there is a shark that does try to attack.
There's always a shark in Bond.
Yeah, but it's like some kind of dogfish. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know,
yeah,
sharks.
It's a tiny little baby thing. I guess trying to get back on the track, because now I mean, there's not really much else. It's just them going after the fucking Attack. And they meet Columbo. That's the only thing that's really important to talk about, I think, is Columbo. Because I remember Columbo a lot.
Okay, it is. But let me help you, because there is a couple steps that I feel like were kind of the meat of the story.
There was meat to the story?
Yeah, there was some. I thought it was actually pretty good. But, it's just not memorable, which that doesn't really help. So, yeah, obviously, Melina is on a revenge kick. I said she was the huntress. It really is. She goes after Gonzalez first, and then she wants to go after whoever hired Gonzalez.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, I forgot about the scene at Gonzalez's house.
Yeah, it's like this big pool party with a bunch of people, and when I say people, I mean women in bathing suits. And then Gonzalez. And then
one Cuban hitman in the center of it all.
Yeah. They watch... Well, they being James, watches Gonzalez make an exchange with this guy named Locke. That's one of the hitmen, played by Michael Gothard. I don't think he has any lines. If he does, it's... You
don't... I'm so sorry, Michael, but you don't think that the name's pronounced Got Hard? I'm sorry. He definitely got that a lot. I'm so sorry, Michael. I couldn't
probably not as much as apple cider. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Oh, man, we're dumb as shit.
So... They go and talk to this, I don't know if he's supposed to be Greek. I know he fought in the Greek resistance alongside Columbo, you find out. But he's this guy who is big and powerful, and he's sponsoring a ice skater named BB, played by Lynn Holly Johnson. Oh, God.
Jesus, I forgot about BB.
Yeah,
too.
BB is kind of the worst.
Do you remember? There's an episode of Archer that makes total sense now. He goes to Germany, and there's that like young 16-year-old. Yes. I think it's Germany, but there's a young 16-year-old who's like
Switzerland. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. I think it is Switzerland. And she's like all over Archer, and he's just like, no, you're a minor, no. It's just like, God, it makes so much sense now. She's based off of BB.
Yeah. Like, I thought it felt familiar. Oh boy, but
there's so many jokes in Archer I get now just from watching Bond.
Yeah,
same with Austin Powers.
100%. So BB...
Oh, and Austin Powers has that scene with the what's the ice machine? The machine that cleans the ice in hockey games. What's that called?
Zamboni.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, he does murder somebody with a Zamboni in this. That's right.
He does.
Yeah.
And that makes the Austin Powers scene make more sense when he gets on the Zamboni and he's like charging the guy down in the slowest possible speed.
Yeah, that scene's pretty funny.
My God. It all comes together through these forgetful movies.
So, yeah, BB's being sponsored by this guy. I think it's Eric Kriegler, played by John Wyman. Or Vinum.
I think it might actually be...
No.
Christados, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's Christados. Yeah, because he's...
Aristotle.
Yeah, played by Julian Glover. He... Yeah, points them in the direction of Columbo, a big, bad, evil man. A big, bad, evil man who deals in sex trade and white slavery... because that seemed, at least in his head, worse than the other kind of slavery. I thought that might be the direction that this film was going, to be perfectly honest, when he said that. But it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't even remember that line.
So anyhow, eventually, Bond gets abducted by Columbo, and he is played by Topol from Fiddler on the Roof. You would know him from it, most likely. He's great.
If you've watched Fiddler on the Roof, yeah.
Yeah, if you have seen that.
Yeah, we were talking about it before. I watched it as a kid in school, and I think my high school even put on a production of it, but I don't quite remember that.
That's pretty weird if you don't have a big Jewish population.
I know, like that's the thing is like I feel like we just watched it on TV, but there's some weird memory of watching somebody perform it, you know?
Yeah.
So like maybe I went to see a performance of it. I can't remember. Like I know I've seen it before. I've definitely seen the movie. But yeah, just there's just something like I think I remember watching it like in a live performance of it. But it was young. I was young, and I've burned those memories away.
It could have been like a traveling show or something, or a community theater maybe even. But still, I feel like New Manchester doesn't have that many Jewish people. Like I'm just guessing.
No. I can name maybe 3, 4, no 5. I can name 5 people.
So as long as it was produced by
10,000
those families in their entirety, I think you'd be good.
I'm sure there was more.
All right. Anyhow, so less about appropriation and more about this movie. So Columbo. Yeah, he tries to convince Bond that he's not the bad guy, it's Christados. And if you feel like that's a giveaway to what the plot's all about, don't you worry. It goes back and forth. It becomes a psychological thriller at this point. And then...
Oh, it doesn't?
Yes. And no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I blew the plot.
No,
Columbo's the good guy and Christados is the bad guy. But
well, they definitely try to give you moments of like, was he? Is Columbo actually good? Is he going to betray Bond here? But like, I don't know. Topol's such like a likable person in this.
Yeah,
like
it's hard.
I don't know. I fall in love with him when he offers Bond a drink right off the bat. Right, he's smiling. Yeah. He's got a big cigar in his mouth. You know, and he's just like, yeah, drink.
And then he gives
like,
Bond
I don't trust you.
His gun back. Like this is their first interaction. He gives Bond back his gun. And this is pretty deep in the movie, too. And Bond is like, but aren't you worried I'd kill you? And he's like, no, I'm a good judge of character. And he just gives him his gun. And I'm like, okay, I like this guy. But also, like, that's probably pretty stupid.
And I enjoy him, too. Like, I enjoy him throughout, like, Columbo, that is. As he, like, you know, he kind of teams up with Bond. Eventually, Bond starts to trust him. And they start, like... They storm some guy's, you know, house together at the end. That's a nice, you know, scene. Yeah. I like them working together. I mean, there's also a moment where Bond is climbing a cliff. I remember that now.
He's,
rock climbing up a cliff. And that's a pretty tense scene. I do remember liking that.
Is there too with her crossbow.
Yeah. But she's down on the ground with Columbo.
That's right.
And it's just Bond on the cliff while, you know, trying to leave them a rope trail to climb up, I guess. I don't know how rock climbing officially works, I'll be honest. But, like, you see him, like, putting in the divots and everything, like, making sure that, you know, his rope is attached to the rock wall, the cliff wall. And then this dumb henchman of Christados's... Yeah. Because Christados is the one who... He's going after the attack to get it and sell it to the KGB. That's his overarching plan, just to spoil that up front. Sorry, or up front, but in middle. Spoil that right now, I guess. But this henchman, he goes down like to the cliff face to like try to, you know, get Bond off of that, you know, to like kill Bond. But all he had to do is just be like, hey guys, there's a guy climbing up the rock wall over here, and then like Christados' other henchman would be like, oh. Okay, we'll just wait for him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, okay, we'll keep an eye out. Can you shoot him from there?
Oh, it's so stupid.
Are you sure you can't shoot him from there?
But that's the thing is, like, he was stupid in going out there to just do the job himself.
Yeah, because
nobody knows that Bond's coming up the cliff now, and then when he dies, you know, he just screams. That's it. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, somebody screamed. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. It's not like we're in a precarious position on this mountain or anything.
No. Jimmy's just having the bad shits again.
Yeah. Oh,
that's all it is.
It's the third time this week. Poor guy.
Poor guy. It's just sometimes that's life, you know.
I feel his pain.
I do too. No gallbladder. It sucks. But yeah, that's basically this movie. It's them going after Christados, Melina going for a revenge kick, Bond going to protect God, Queen and country, and Bond
and Melina sleeping together.
Dude, you know what I just thought about?
Yeah.
The next Bond will be the first Bond without the Queen.
Oh.
Like, Bond has always been, in service to to his country, but also the Queen, of course.
That's right.
So this will be the first Bond without the Queen.
And they can make in His Majesty's Secret Service.
That right? They can, yeah. The Kingsmen. Oh shit, can't do that.
Man. Lost that one.
Dang it.
Oh, but they
and Jodie Whittaker is the first Doctor to be without the Queen.
Oh crap! My God. But that's already been filmed and stuff. I wonder if they'll do some reshoots if anything happened.
They'll probably give one line. Yeah. They'll ask Jodie to come back and do one line where she's just like, "Oh,
long live the king." Goodbye.
Oh, so sad.
Okay, so
what were we talking about with Bond?
Closing statements, I think. I think we've done it.
Oh, okay. I'm ready for it. Honestly, this movie pissed me off right from the beginning because it's a very stupid intro where Bond is attacked by Blofeld again. Blofeld's back. He's in his wheelchair or something. He's sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and Bond's in a plane, and Blofeld takes over control of the plane, or maybe it's a helicopter. I think it's a helicopter, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So James is actually at Teresa's grave. Teresa Bond's grave.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. His wife from that one movie so long ago.
Roger Moore remembers his relationship with Teresa way more than Sean Connery did.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. That kind of does ruin the idea that it's just a different agent, unless you go with the idea that, and hear me out, Sean Connery's Bond did plastic surgery to become George Lazenby,
right,
and then did plastic surgery to come back as Sean Connery, but on the second plastic surgery it didn't stick, and then he started looking like Roger Moore.
Oh, and also became British. Okay. Right.
Well, that was to go undercover.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean...
And then we'll figure out how Timothy Dalton plays into it maybe a year from now when we start watching those movies.
Oh, yeah, and we're just going to do one at a time because this playlist has gone on too long.
Oh, yeah, we got to stop after Roger Moore. We really do.
Yeah.
But no, with Blofeld, though, it really bothered me because Blofeld takes control of the helicopter and he literally almost kills Bond. He has Bond going in a complete dive to the ground. Bond can't do anything to get out of it. Bond's going to die. And then Blofeld pulls it up at the last second so he can mock Bond. Yeah. So he can get on the intercom and be like, "Ha ha ha, Bond! I have controls of your helicopter, and I'm going to kill you very slowly. Yeah. Here we go. The helicopter's going down. Oh no!" It gives Bond just enough time that Bond can get out of it, take control of the helicopter, fly to where Blofeld is just randomly sitting in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then pick him up and drop him down a smokestack.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, that was ridiculous.
He said, "Mr. Bond, we can make a deal.
Yeah.
I'll give you $1 million."
It's so stupid, man. So and stupid. My thought process when I saw that was, oh, okay, he just killed another copy of Blofeld, and we're gonna have another one of those movies where there's a lot of Blofelds, and he's just Blofeld's gonna be the overarching enemy again. That was what I was thinking.
But it had nothing to do with the movie. Nothing.
Yeah, Blofeld is just now dead. I guess that's just canon. Maybe not. Maybe he'll come back later. I mean, obviously we know he comes back in the Craig movies.
Maybe the wheelchair saved him. He was already paralyzed from that crane thing
Well, maybe he just hit the side of the smokestack and just had like an awesome parkour like skid around the like he just like Tony Hawk that shit.
Yeah,
and he came out fine in the end.
Yeah, maybe the cat cushioned his fall.
Yeah, that's right. He just threw the cat down and just bounced off of it. But it's dumb. All it does is it sets up the explanation right up front that it's going back to form. That Bond is going back to the spy roots. It's going to be a spy movie because the last one was crazy sci-fi, and the producers were like, "All right, we went too far. Let's dial it back to the roots." And that's all that intro was. And once that became clear to me, once I was like, okay, Blofeld's not a part of this. It's completely different people. And it's just a spy movie. Yeah. And I'm confused already.
Yeah.
And I've turned my brain off. I give it 2 stars. Like, I couldn't get into it. I still thought it was entertaining. Yeah. There were good moments. And it's not a bad spy movie, but it's just a spy movie. And I just don't give a damn about those.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. This one has a higher rating on the tomato meter, but on the potato meter...
Tomatometer?
I give it a face. I give it a face because I do remember sitting there and enjoy watching it, but I hardly remembered it until I had to jog my memory on it, and it was just a couple days ago. So I don't think it's the best of the Bond movies. However, I think it's a watchable movie.
It's true.
There's a lot of movies like that.
But this is also the first one without M because Bernard Lee passed away, as we mentioned in the last episode, and so they replaced him with 2 people who I think they've been in it. Maybe they've been in it before, but I don't really remember them.
I think the character of one of them has been, but it was portrayed by somebody else.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's the Minister of Defense, Sir Frederick Grey, played by, I got it somewhere, Jeffrey Keane, and Bill Tanner, the MI6 Chief of Staff, played by James Villiers.
And they're both dicks. Actually, they're more like politicians, and so they just don't fill M's shoes, and I feel like they were doing that on purpose to honor the character.
Yeah, but it's a fine film, and they have another funny moment at the end where Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher is like patched into a phone call with Bond, with Melina and Bond, but Melina's parrot answers the phone instead. It's it's silly.
And the parrot asks Margaret Thatcher to give her a kiss, and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Bond," and then the Minister of Defense and Tanner are like trying to unplug the plugs to end the call.
You imbecile! Oh gosh. Well, I think that's been the episode.
I think so too.
It's been a fun Bond playlist so far. We've got
one more,
maybe 2 more. I think.
More? Okay.
I think 2 more.
This is something.
How many more Mondays are there?
Really quick. How many more Mondays are there? In the year?
Yeah, it was supposed to lead us up perfectly to but until October. It was supposed to lead us up perfectly to the October's playlist. So I think there's 2 more movies after this one.
Still have Octopussy and A View to a Kill.
Oh, good.
Yeah. A View to a Kill.
Oh my god. The next one's Octopussy.
Yeah.
We'll see you here next Monday, everybody, with Octopussy.
Octopussy. Oh, we're children.
Prepare for our most watched movie or episode yet.
Well, with that,
I have been the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Safe travels and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.